Hello, my name is Grumpy. Grumpy Eye. Grumpy Eye. Grumpy Eye.
But yeah, let me play this. I gotta get some smokes. I'll be back in a second. I'm just gonna play the start because I saw like the first minute.
So I've been playing around with an AI image generator for the past couple months, and I've been sort of messing around with designing spaceships using it, and I started to wonder, what if I could use this to come up with a concept ship for Star Citizen? My name's DedLeader. Let's design a Vandal capital ship using AI.
So this guy just gave him an idea, basically. They can pour out concept ships like crazy now, basically.
So using Midjourney AI, I started to experiment with it a bit. The way it works is you give it a prompt and it tries its best to realize that. And the better you're able to describe something, the better an image it'll give you. For instance,
this looks amazing.
I asked it to show me a sandwich floating in space, and it gave me this cool burger. In fact, it looks so good, I didn't entirely think that people would believe me that this was done by AI, so I told it to show me a burger floating in space with the name DedLeader written on side with sauce. But that's the kind of odd thing about AI. It doesn't necessarily know how to do some things right when you get complicated. It doesn't really know how to do text. And I tried again, and it showed me this. It started to think my name was DedLeader. DedLeader. And then I tried to do something different with that text to sort of prove that I was, conducting this. And I told it to show me a sandwich in space with a hot dog cannon that was shooting goldfish. And, well,
yeah, I know, Justine.
It gets
but
confused.
It's just funny.
It's like the art of working with AI image generation is figuring out what prompts to give it to start nudging it in the right direction. And something that you...
Why does this spaceship have a fin in the back? Like, what the fuck? AI is just weird.
Make perfect sense isn't necessarily going to make the best sense to the AI. So to figure out the best prompts and sort of language to give it to start generating realistic spaceships, I had to experiment. I started off asking it to combine different ships that I already knew, and initially it started to show me very sort of arty representations. Nothing seemed based in reality or like a good concept ship. But as I kept going, I started getting a little bit better.
Okay. How many of you would buy this concept ship? Honestly, looks amazing. Looks like a spaceship. Doesn't have wings like most spaceships in Star Citizen do, like the Vanguard and the Gladius, etc. This looks like a fucking space town that has thrusters that can go forward.
Started getting a little bit better. This one was me describing the Millennium Falcon that was sponsored by McDonald's, and it ended up putting what looks like a palace version of the Millennium Falcon inside of a chip cup. I really don't know what it was thinking at that point.
How much? I don't know. For this one? 400 war bonds. But you know that it's going to have a capital shield, or maybe 2 capital shields, and it's going to be the size of the Idris. Can you put a rock in it? No. Maybe with a module. You buy a module for that.
Legitimately. And then fine. But it looked really good. But I got better. And I got a bit better. And then finally, I started to get something that legitimately looked like a concept image from Star Citizen. So using the language that I'd started figuring out and the specific settings and requirements I was starting to feed it, I started to get closer and closer to a more believable concept ship idea. As I was sort of like working through these different designs that it was giving me, they started to look a bit sleeker and sleeker.
Mr. J, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
And like this one I really loved. It started to, as soon as it started to break up that...
Dude, I want to play this game. Honestly, I want to play this game. Make it in Unreal 5, please.
It started to, as soon as it started to break up that form of like a jet engine or something.
Dude, yes. Oh my god,
something.
these
It
are
started
amazing.
to look a bit more worn down. I liked it more and more.
Yeah, this is actually awesome, dude.
Larger and larger ships, I started getting to design that realistically looked like they could be capital ships. And better, like the more I started getting
Amazing.
used to it, the better I was able to sort of direct the AI to make these believable ships. And around here was when I started to get these images of these ships that were sort of partially destroyed or ripped. And
I told you, this guy just gave CAG an idea how to make new ships, new concepts. At least, I hope they will, because these look fucking amazing, right?
started to give me a bit more of a grounding in what the concept of this ship could be. Say, each concept ship that's designed for starters and has to have
Honestly, I have no idea how this AI works.
a
But this is
purpose.
fucking
So I
amazing.
thought, what would be a good purpose for the Van Duel to own a capital ship? And I thought it would be really interesting to have a ship that sort of looked like it was injured or destroyed. So like it looked like it could be crashed on a planet or, you know, destroyed within an asteroid field, but it's really sort of playing possum and, you know, looking like it's something that's been destroyed, but it's waiting for something to get close.
That's just what Star Citizen
time
needs,
they
more
realize-
concept ships. I mean, I'm saying that as a joke, of course.
Realize that it's actually a capital warship that's primed. They're
Come on,
close
you
to
will
get
buy
to
this
it.
in this state.
So-
Come on, fucking 450 war bonds. You will fucking buy this. And it will come with like, you can't fly it, but you gotta repair it first. And you gotta hop through the verse to find like components to repair, or maybe even fix the ship yourself. You will fucking buy this. You know it, Eagle. You fucking know it.
I started to work closer to that sort of design aesthetic of, you know,
Size 15 Gatling confirmed.
maybe this ship that could, perhaps it was like wearing a coat of armor of other like destroyed ships that like nanites would be like pulling to repair its hull and pulling forward to like sort of assume the coat
Dude,
of
this is amazing.
whatever enemy in a battle that it had destroyed, and then use that as a sort of camouflage to lure, you know, rescue crews over, but also repair itself. And it was around this point when I
Oh, this is the Kriak. It's not a Karak, it's the Kriak.
came up with these images. That there's this one here that had this sort of destroyed back and these sort of odd looking jet engines and a really sort of great alien shape in it that reminded me a bit of the Prowler in a way. But it had this large midsection, which I imagine could be like where the majority of the you know, the real ship actually was held, and the rest of it is sort of like a decoration or a camouflage. So I worked with it more and more and started getting different sort of versions of it. And
I mean, Shane, come on. This is better than playing the game, right? Of course, Narnia is going to be better than fucking playing the game, right?
just changing little bits of descriptions, and I started selling on these images for it.
Yeah, it looks
I-
like Drake.
I thought the idea of a Vandal capital ship that was mimicking like a destroyed vessel in the middle of a war. So of course it's hard to get something so detailed that you've created within an AI to look the same in different images. So I would
But it also looks
it,
like Van Duel
um,
because of the fins
these
that are
key
pointing.
images as like a seed.
Oh my
and
God.
then give it a different description, like, you know, landing
I don't know if you heard that, but that was my heart on hitting the table.
on a planet.
Where's my money?
Planet side or docking. And I started to get these other images that looked similar to the one that I wanted to use, but because I've, you know, it's the concept is that it isn't necessarily always going to look like the same ship. I feel like I was getting away with I had a bit of leeway with the way that the AI would generate essentially a different ship each time, but I was feeding as much information to give it to be doing the same ship as possible. And so I started to think more about like how this ship would function best. And so I thought like
Halsey. Anyone?
it would be cool if this was something that like say if it looks like it's crashed planet side, that's actually, you know, where it would set up. So it would look like people were living inside of a destroyed, salvagers were living inside of a destroyed ship, but that's really just, you know, where the hangar bay is.
Dude, Steve, you know that at one point we will get like AI that's gonna make ships, like 3D models of ships in the interior, like everything is gonna be procedural. You know that.
Cooking or setting up their mining gear.
Like not ships, of course. It's gonna be made for like, I don't know, procedural like buildings and shit like that. But at some point, maybe somebody's gonna convert that into like sci-fi things and like build ships with that.
Yeah. So wherever you would go, this
I bet that has AI blades. Yeah,
would become like this home base that was well camouflaged. So I imagine it would be really good for like a rebellion operation. You could go into like a new sort of like treacherous territory and be set up like you're a destroyed ship. And of course, if you're going to pitch a concept ship, you're going to be able to show the technical specifications and the layout of the thing. And so I fed it the general images of what I liked the ship to be, and then asked it to give me like infographics and cross sections, and it gave me all these great further detail on the internals of the ship.
I mean, yeah, Shane, they're doing that right now, but like with the whole interior and like the layout that is like logical and all of that, that's going to happen at some point.
Which actually matched the previous designs. It's and so it really started to look, the more I kind of like processed them and pointed in the direction of like a nanite alien ship that's essentially has this sort of core skeleton. And what I was sort of designing was, if the AI itself wasn't able to create the same ship each iteration.
Yeah, these are new Drake ships, confirmed.
Then to the design of the ship, where
$550 for this one, Warbond.
Nanites themselves.
It gets like 10 years insurance.
That would be replacing and using other ships as components to, whereas camouflage would doing the same thing. It would try to, with what it had, create the same thing, but there would always be differences, and that would always kind of like do the best that it could to bring the ship up to function with what it had at any given time. And that sort of allowed me a little bit of extra leeway on the sort of inaccuracies between the different diagrams. But it came up with this really interesting, bizarre alien look to it, which I think is amazing. An infographic that, you know, kind of shows the hull slowly, you know, what's under the hull. It's as if it's looking more like a UE, like kind of human ship. And it's sort of like taking on these different hull pieces onto it.
Well, you get an LTI token and then you CC to this.
And of course, if you're going to sell people on the dream of a ship, I needed some images of inside the ship and what life might be like if you were playing on this thing. So I started, prompting it to show me like the look of like a pirate looking out the window of a warship looking into space. And of course, I used the sort of DedLeader imagery in it as well.
Is Knight Rider still in the chat? If he is, please just go talk to the concept art team.
Yeah, the butcher helmet with like the bull skull.
It doesn't really matter. They can release images like this and then just change it afterwards, like the Band of Merchantmen. It's not the same as the concept, right? It's gonna be completely different. But like you can sell this. You can sell the dream.
Motif as a helmet. It's I got these amazing, just like really moody portraits of these pirates looking out of this thing, kind of like living their life in this this husk-rated ship. Yeah. I think in the end, it all kind of looks quite believable. I think looks like a Vandal capital ship.
Honestly, I am amazed by the quality of the pictures that like fucking AI made, first of all. Secondly, I want to play this game.
In the end, when it was all finished, I decided to
what does the AI think
Vandal
of physicalized components? Dragon.
And if you would like one of these ships in game, then if you like and subscribe, then it definitely, I promise you, definitely will be in the game, soon. Whenever, it's definitely, maybe 50 something years. But like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments below if you'd like me to try this again with maybe another ship manufacturer, or if you've got another idea.
Yeah, dude, you gotta do a Drake
I really
ship.
enjoyed sort of playing around with the
Honestly.
theory crafting for it and seeing what I could come up with. It was a
Like,
lot of fun.
Make it
All
be
right,
as
DedLeader out.
asymmetric as
Steven
possible.
Verse.
So yeah, I really enjoyed this video. Like, I know that this is just like fucking snorting copium and just like living in Narnia, but Jesus Christ, I want to play this game. And I know it's just a fucking picture, but Jesus Christ, where's my money? Soon. Well, he said in like, if you subscribe to his channel, it's most certainly gonna happen in the next 50 years. So yeah.